What is going on YouTube? Kronos here and welcome back to another PSO2 video. So today I wanted to go over a new system that's been added into the game. These add-on, or I guess add-on skills is what they're called, the way they're referring to them. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit complicated, but once you kind of get used to the system itself, it actually adds a lot of power to the player individually. Let's go ahead and just go over this stuff really quick so we can jump right into this. So add-on skills, the way they kind of work out is you've got an add-on skill for every individual class that you have currently unlocked in the game. I say unlocked because realistically you have to unlock the add-on skills for them, though you just have to switch to the class and use one of your class cubes. Now, if you've already got classes that are leveled past 30 and past 50, simply switch to those classes. You'll get a title which will give you a class cube. It's much like class cubes were back in base PSO2 if you ever played that. However, they just seem to give us a lot more of them, and for good reason. You're going to need them. So the way these actually work out, you roll a skill. I'm going to go ahead and use horse as an example. You roll a skill, and when you roll a skill, you can roll one of 5 overall effects. A main effect, which will always be the same no matter what, and 2 of 4 sub effects. You can see what the sub effects are for each class by simply going to them. Right now we're looking at force. You can see that we get technique weapon up. And then the sub effects, we've got natural PP recovery, HP upon joining a trial, panic resist for up, and then HP up. Now, at first I thought these little notices here were just meant, you get this while you're playing force specifically. But as you guys can see, I've got 161 PP and 427 HP. For anyone who's been following me, you guys know that my HP before any of this stuff happened was about 369, and I had 151 PP. So right now I have no food buffs up. I'm not getting PP from anywhere else. But if we head over to the add-on skills, we take a look at add-on skill set, and we can look through a couple of these so we can see HP up from Bouncer, added 12 HP. I have PP up from Waker, added 10 PP. So as you can see, these effects actually work across the entire character. So it is important to get these effects. Now, how should we grab them? How should I be rolling them? What should I be doing? So to start things off, you're only going to have access to add-on skill 1. Realistically, that's all you're going to use for a long period of time. Now, unless this is a big if, so unless you specifically are after the try boost for unlocking every single add-on skill for all of the characters, of all the classes that are available for a character, do not use all of your cubes immediately. Now I wanted to see how it worked. Plus I was speeding Waker to level 60 on stream, so I wanted to get every possible boost that I could get, because when you first unlock a skill for a class, you do get an add-on skill boost. As long as you've unlocked one for each class, the higher you, or the more classes you unlock, the higher it goes. I believe that's what, 9 classes, 1% each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 1% per class. So that's 9 classes, 1% each. And you unlock it simply by just unlocking an add-on skill for the first time. Now, here comes the fun part. How should you unlock add-on skills? Realistically, if you're focused on one class, pick your one. Honestly, even if you're not like main class of that class specifically, like say you're a hunter, fighter, braver, or bouncer, if you can set your main class to hunter and just go all in on hunter, it's got a really good add-on skill at melee weapon potency up. Or say you don't really want to worry about that, you want to go ahead and just, you only play one class, you want to work on that one class. Let's say, for example, I'm bouncer, I'll just work on this specific add-on skill. What you want to realistically do is you want to roll add-on skill once. That's all you're gonna have access to at first. You want to roll add-on skill once. You unlock the add-on skill 2 and 3s as you get higher in these add-on skills. I could say from experience, add-on skill 2 didn't unlock until I at least had a level 5 skill generated. So basically what happens is it rolls a random level on this, and then it rolls 2 of these effects at random levels higher than 1, of course. Now, when I got a 5, it unlocked add-on skill 2, which, as you can see, for double the cost, I can get a base effect of 5 or higher. But you're probably noticing something. The main effect is 18 or higher. Well, that's because whenever you unlock a higher of your main effect, you can never roll lower than that main effect. You can only ever roll higher or equal to what it is. So if a roll is lower than it, it's just gonna say 18 or whatever happens to be your highest one at the moment. And then of course, once I got above 10, I got the level 3 version. So it's kind of difficult because a lot of players have been jumping around a bit. It might be different breakpoints, but as you'll find out, the higher you get of this, the more of these add-on skills you get. But realistically, you only want to be running add-on skill 1 until we know specifically if, rolling 3s gives you a higher chance of getting this up to 20, which 20 is the cap in case you're wondering. Then it's only worth to roll 1s because look at the cost difference. I mean, it's 10 times the cost for level 1 to 10. And your add-on skill 1s, the main effect is always going to be the highest of it can be. And we want to get it up to 20 before we start actually rolling for the better sub effects. So if you're curious of like, what's the meta? How do I roll this? Essentially, roll add-on skill 1s only on one class until you get as high as you possibly can. Ideally 20, but I feel like 17 to possibly 18 is a good spot. And then roll a few of your add-on skill 3s, maybe across all of your classes to go ahead and get everything at the very least at level 10. It's pretty solid and you'll have plenty of skills. Now, again, ideally we'll be running add-on skill 1 over and over and over again until this gets to 20. Now, I'm not sure at the time I'm recording this video, it's speculated that once you get a plus 20, now I haven't personally seen it. No one's given me an actual video recording or screenshots. I'm not going to say that it's confirmed, but it does make sense based on what we know so far. When you do unlock add-on skill, or when you do unlock at level 20, you do get add-on skill 15. So, or I'm sorry, add-on skill 3, which gives you a minimum of 15. That's what they're saying. That makes the most sense. Fingers crossed that is the case. If not, then, once you have add-on skill 3, just roll the 3s at getting level 10s and up. Ideally, you'll pick the 2 sub effects that you want and you're good to go. So let's see what happens when you actually roll an add-on skill. So as you can see, I didn't get any higher on my technique weapon up, so that's just 18 still, but my sub effects I got were HP up force level 11 and natural PP up recovery 1. Now, once you get that, it gives you 3 slots. You have 3 actual slots of add-on skills you can use. So say you had a situation where while you're bossing, you want HP and natural PP recovery up, but while you're fighting just, a bunch of adds, maybe out in the overworld, if you plan on farming, you want something like, I don't know, PP up and then like HP upon entering a trial for some reason. Well, you can have a different actual add-on skill registered and switch to whenever you'd like. Now, we're not going to keep this. This isn't really good. We're basically just rolling 1s until this goes to 20. So we can just go ahead and skip over it. And that's basically it. That's the long and short of this system. You basically want to roll add-on skills. The main portion of this, the main effects, which have the biggest effect on your character, in my opinion, like you have things like melee weapon potency up. Not to say that the sub effects don't, but these have some of the biggest ones. You have critical hit potency up. Braver's got, I think, critical chance. Yeah, critical hit rate potency up, or critical hit rate up. And then a lot of these sub effects, things like HP up. I think almost every class has an HP or PP up on it. Yeah, Fighter has HP up. Ranger has HP up. Gunner has HP up. Yeah, like everything seems to have HP up on it at the very least. So HP up is not a bad choice. You can get quite a bit of HP overall and maybe separate it out, right? Maybe get a bit of HP up in your sub effects if you can, and then some of the other options. Things like Force has got damage resistance up. Keep your recovery on joining a trial. Like joining the trial one, I feel like is not gonna be great. Poison resistance up, probably not gonna be that fantastic, but if you look at something like Bouncer has freeze resistance up. That's huge. That's actually enormous, especially if you're using Belgrin. Now, I haven't seen that this is actually represented on your stat sheet. I'm gonna see if I've got an add-on set with it. Yeah, this has my freeze resistance up 56%, but if I actually go to my stat sheet, we'll go to my actual character stat sheet. As you can see, this still says minus 237, which is equal with everything else. So this is like it's represented on the actual character sheet. So I'm not sure if that's working properly just yet. Oh, well, for some reason I couldn't open this window. So things are a little bit buggy at the moment with everyone on the servers. It was pretty laggy earlier today when I tried to record this video. But as far as the skills themselves go, the add-on skills, they add a lot of player power in. And having the right add-on skills can really help build up your build. Something like the Belgrin armor, you can kind of counteract some of the worst parts of it, dealing with, negative statuses. There's really only 2 statuses you care about. It's freeze and shock. Everything else you can pretty much just play with. It's not really that big a deal. Looks like Tekker's got poison. Waker's got shock. There you go. So Honestly, Waker and Bouncer, I'm probably going to grab the freeze and the shock resistance. And then more than likely, maybe on Bouncer, take the Encore Jumper HP up. On Waker, probably going to take the HP up. Yeah, probably going to take the HP up. Stationary HP recovery is not going to be useful for me. And HP recovery upon joining a trial, I don't ever think this is going to be a situation where that's going to be fantastic unless you have a very niche setup. Realistically speaking, when you're running from trial to trial, you can just heal. Some of the game-changing ones, though, Dash and Glide PP recovery. This activates natural PP recovery, and it seems like, now granted I don't have a guarantee on this, but it seems like it also stacks with other skills that affect natural PP recovery. Since whenever natural PP recovery is active, which is just your PP recovers over time, skills that affect that help as well. So things like Subforce, things like Performa now have even better uses of regen and PP in between fights now. So sprinting isn't as terrible anymore. You're going from fight to fight. The mainstays, I mean, for let's say a melee character are going to be Hunter, Fighter, Braver, and Bouncer easily, because you got melee potency, crit hit rate, crit hit chance, crit hit potency, so crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and then you want Dash and Glide PP recovery. I feel this is gonna be a mainstay for everyone. Ranger's got range potency up, I'm assuming. Yep. And then Forces got tech potency up. Exactly. So yeah, you kind of have an idea of all of the classes you want to get. I would say, again, roll your main class, roll ones until you get to a comfortable spot. If you're going like all in, maybe just keep rolling on the one as much as you actually possibly can so you get as high as possible, ideally to a 20. If you don't make it, you really want some power, it's not the end of the world to just go ahead and run down the list and roll, add-on skill 3 on basically all of your classes. And realistically, you'll have a good chunk of potency up. Like, I mean, if you look at mine, I did this early and did it kind of incorrect. You can see my melee weapon potency is only 2. Like, I'm getting 0.5 on my melee weapon potency, which is really bad. My fighter is pretty nice, so I got 8.5%. And then Braver is pretty bad, I only have 5. So I did this incorrectly, but it was more to show people kind of how it worked out. We were kind of testing the waters, figuring things out, and we were very excited. Servers had just come up. But video's long enough as it is. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to toss in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace out.